It's been a bruising contest, and as the dust settles and the final results are declared, the ruling party has been left licking their wounds. The ANC was given a serious run for its money by the Democratic Alliance. It lost two major metros. Nelson Mandela Bay, named after South Africa's first black president, Nelson Mandela, and Tshwane in capital Pretoria.
ANC has suffered in a very big way in the metros or the big cities, whilst holding on to the rural areas with marginal declines here and there. And as such, the cities where they sit are an economic hub where much of the gross domestic product of the country is taking place. And also symbolically, the seat of government in Pretoria sits within an area that is now within a reach of the opposition parties. That has to be a humiliating and a reverse in ANC's fortunes that they cannot easily deny.
But the ruling party has gained votes at a national level.
What is humbling is the fact that the ANC remains a leader of the most vulnerable, those who need to be attended to, and to get a whopping 15 million votes. When in 2014 we only got 11 million. I'm quite humbled. We can do better. If you look at it, it actually reassets the fact that we earn leadership because we are a listening party.
Both the ANC and the DA could not win the metros outright, though. This means coalitions are needed to govern some of the councils.
I think it's good news for democracy that it came down to the wire, that no political party could claim a number of metros, and it went down to, or it's going down to the wire. It's exciting because it shows that democracy is maturing in South Africa, and I think it will be a wake-up call to the overall governing party to say, you don't own voters.
Julius Malima's Economic Freedom Fighters has found itself being a key player when it comes to coalitions. Malima says his party would wait for other parties to approach it in terms of coalitions. Yolisa, Njamela, CCTV, Pretoria, South Africa.
Let's get more from CCTV's Angelo Kuppler, who's live in Johannesburg. Angelo, the Independent Electoral Commission has just announced the final results. What are the key highlights?
Well, the bottom line here is that nationally there was a 58% voter turnout. There were some 1.3 million new voters. And perhaps more worryingly for the ruling party, there was a 1.3% total number of spoilt votes that relate to this local government election. One analyst suggests that there was a 25% stay away by working class urban voters from the polling stations. If you look at the voter map, however, the country is still a sea of green. Overall, the ANC took 54%, the DA took 27%, the EFF some 8%, and the IFP, which is a KwaZulu-based party, took some 4%. Everyone's waiting to see how Johannesburg goes. It's the only outstanding battleground metro. And with 99% of the vote in there just over 15 minutes ago, the ANC didn't achieve that magical 50% which allows it to manage or to run that metro. So there's going to be a coalition there, as Yolisa was mentioning. The IEC says that they're trying to finalize this Johannesburg number, but it's going to happen in the next couple of hours. So the highlights at the moment is still a sea of green, but coalition or minority government rule is the name of the game at the moment. Penina?
Now, it was another significant loss for the ANC as the Democratic Alliance won the capital city. What's the reaction of voters and the ANC to this dismal performance?
Well, the voters reminded the ANC on social media platforms today that the party didn't listen to them when they wanted to make their voices heard. So what they did is they either stayed away, as happened in Buyani, or they decided to not vote at all, or vote for opposition parties. And this was the case when the ANC attempted to put an untested candidate mayor in Pretoria. I remember the protest chants of no Sputla, no vote, when we covered the protest action in Mamelodi, and the voters kept their word. Others voted for those other parties, and it's seen in the numbers, specifically within the EFF, and that small increase within the DA. So it's a wake-up call for the ruling party, Penina.
And Angelo, these elections are being seen as the biggest wake-up call, just like you said, for the ANC. And it now says it will introspect and reflect where their support has dropped. So with just 3 years to the national elections, can the ANC turn around its fortunes?
Well, that remains to be seen, Panina. The horse trading around the coalitions in those major metros is only just beginning. How these coalitions will do or how they'll work and operate will provide a clue to how voters will vote in the national elections in a couple of years' time. This is a bloody nose for the ANC, but they've bounced back before. The mood, however, among voters appears to be that the party now has to prove themselves to the voters by delivering on what they promised to deliver. And everyone, of course, will be watching how the EFF acquits itself. They're an untested entity at the moment because they haven't had any say in local government up until now. So they're king players. The ANC's got a bloody nose. The DA has a point to prove in the metro that it's won. And it'll depend on what the coalitions are and how those develop and how they perform in the next 3 years. Panina?
All right, Angela Kupla, live for us in Johannesburg. Many thanks, Angela.